What's up, people? It's your boy Slide. In this video, I'm going to talk about my trip to Vancouver, BC. Last Saturday, I traveled to Vancouver. I currently live in the Seattle area, so it's about a 2-hour drive from the border, from where I live. And on Saturday, it was pretty nice. It was a sunny day. So I pretty much enjoyed the ride over there. So I decided to go, and I kind of fucked up a little bit because I left late. Apparently what happened to me, I had to fix my car before I left. I had to fix my car. Then I got something to eat before I left. So that pretty much, I can say around, I didn't leave until at least around, I think 5:30 to 6, around that time. So I left late. It was my fault on that. But overall, I drove about 2 hours nonstop. So there's a city, the largest city before you reach the border is called Bellingham. And by the time you get to Bellingham, you pretty much know you're near the border, pretty much. So when I was listening to the radio, the U.S. radio station I was listening to, it changed to Canadian. So I'm like, okay, I'm almost there. So I was listening to a Canadian news and what's going on over there, you know. So I got towards the border around 8 o'clock. That's when I got towards the border. And the line was pretty long, right? It was a long line and everything. So by the time I got to the agent, he was asking all these questions like, what do you do for a living? Are you working? How do you have money? Blah, blah, blah. You know, I answered his questions like, what are you doing in Canada? How long are you staying for? And before you know it, man, it was kind of awkward. To me, it wasn't awkward at all. I answered my questions normal. I answered the questions normally, but the dude was like, "Take this yellow slip, and I go into the lobby," which I did, right? So they asked me more questions about, what are you doing here? Why are you here? They were asking me a particular question, like, where do you want to go particularly? I was like, I just want to go to the mall, see some shit. But in reality, I told them the real answer. I told them I just want to see what's out in Vancouver, because I like to travel a lot. I just want to see what's out there. They didn't like that answer, so they end up searching my car. But I'll go into another video. Not in this video. Another video, I'll go into it. And by the time they let me go, I pretty much kept on going to where I was going to. So my hotel, the hotel I was staying at, is about 10 minutes outside of Vancouver. So my hotel, I didn't get there until at least around, is it 8:30 or 9? I think around that time frame. Can't remember the exact time, but the time I got there, the hotel was nice. It was a real classy hotel. It was nice. My room was off the chain. My room was nice, clean. It looked pretty fancy. I liked it, and it was just interesting. I turned on the television, right? I watch these Canadian channels. It's pretty funny. Canada has their own stations, their own TV stations, but the thing that's so interesting about it is that you can find many American channels in Canada. You can find many of them in Canada. So it's like the Canadians get American shows, like a lot of American shows on their television. And why this is so interesting, people don't know this, is that many U.S. channels have their own stations in Canada as well. Like, for example, you have the E Network. The E channel is an American channel, right? But if you watch it in Canada, you get the American shows and you get some local Canadian shows. And some of those Canadian shows never hit the U.S. market. So that's one thing that's really interesting to me about the whole thing. Why they do that, how they do that, I don't know why it's like that. I mean, I think I know why, because some Canadian shows aren't that popular in the U.S., so they don't even waste their time trying to hit the U.S. market. But, you know, that's a whole another topic. But, so I was watching some Canadian shows. They're pretty interesting. And, yeah, so I was on the computer I was on the computer because I was like, I don't want to just be at home since it is nighttime. I'm not trying to be at home during my trip. So I was online, seeing where I can go and everything. So I ended up going outside. So I came to my hotel after I took a shower. Then I found a place where I want to go. I went to this small town near Vancouver called Burnaby. So it's a small town next to Vancouver, and there's nothing there, to be honest. Like, it was nighttime, and if you guys notice this stuff, and at least if you go to like Canada, a lot of those stores, they close early. Like, on average, you're looking at least 10 on a Saturday. Things close down quick. So, you know, most American companies, especially when it comes to restaurants, they don't close until like 11 or 12. But when I went down there, everything was closed. So I ended up going to a massage place for a massage. I went to go and get a massage. So I did that. Then after I did that, I was in the area of the city, right? And they had a lot of these hookah lounges. The hookah lounges were like, I think I saw at least 2 hookah lounges on the same street. So that was kind of interesting, right? So, you know me, I don't smoke hookah, so it was pretty much pointless to me. Then I couldn't find anything to eat, so I drove to Safeway and I bought me some food over there, did my thing, bounced. But as I was driving around that area, I'm telling you guys the truth, man. Vancouver is a very beautiful city. The city I was in, Burnaby, beautiful. Vancouver itself is beautiful. Like, I was just driving around for a little bit. I'm like, oh my goodness, this place is fucking nice. You know, it's a very nice environment. Like, it's beautiful. Like, in that area, man, they have all the lights on and shit. Everything looks cool, man. But, you know, I saw a lot of people outside too. I saw a lot of people outside at night. Just, you don't really see that in the U.S. where people can walk around at night by themselves or just walk around like 11 o'clock at night. You don't really see that in the U.S. unless they're in like the downtown area because of a lot of people there. But overall, you don't see that shit often. But anyhow, when I went up to my hotel room, I just stayed up for a little bit, watched some TV, watch some Canadian news. Oh, Canadian shit. Canadian TV shows and stuff. So, yeah. You know, I went to bed, woke up around like 7. No, almost 7. I think around 8 I woke up and went for breakfast. It was nice and sunny. Oh man, I had their waffles. Oh my goodness, their waffles are off the chain, man. They make good food. I don't know how to describe it. You know, I don't know how to describe it. They make good food over there. And after that stuff, I just started to what do you call it? Figure out where I want to go. Because I didn't want to just drive back. Because I checked out of my hotel around 12. Then I didn't leave the hotel until like maybe 1 o'clock. I was just surfing the internet for a little bit. So I didn't know where I want to go. So I ended up going to East Hastings. And people who know about East Hastings, it's known for its drug use and prostitution, right? So I actually went down there. When I went down there, I didn't see no drugs. I didn't see no drug user. I saw no escort. I mean, I saw no escort. I saw some girls who did look like they were kind of like, but it was daytime, and when you're in East Hastings in the daytime, you don't know who's who. You feel me? Because all the stores on the strip were open. So you see all sorts of people. So it was busy. The store was pretty much busy, or the street was pretty much busy, right? So I didn't meet one weirdo. I met one weird motherfucker. I don't know what happened. I walked past him at the bus stop. He was saying something, and when I passed him again. He said something. I don't know what, he kind of followed. I think he was walking behind me or some shit like that. So whatever. I stopped at the corner and said, like, what, like, he asked me, what time is it? I said it's like 2:36. He immediately says 2:36, like in a way trying to mock me, kind of vibe, right? I didn't pay no attention. I thought he was kind of, I didn't know what was wrong with him, to be honest. I thought it was kind of strange, but hey, you always have your weirdos everywhere, right? Then later, you won't believe this shit. I think later as I walked down the street, started doing some just sightseeing and shit. I walked back up the street another time. That same guy who asked me that questions, who asked me at the time, started, kind of mocked me a little bit, was talking to another guy. The other guy got annoyed, pretty much said, you know what, I have to go. So I was like, what the hell was wrong with this person? So I thought that was kind of weird. But, yeah, that's just where it goes. I saw some, I did see some girls over in Vancouver. Oh my God. I saw some of the prettiest girls, man, on East Hastings. I saw a lot of pretty girls, man. The girls there were fucking beautiful. Right? But my confidence wasn't there. I had no confidence because of my past experiences in the United States. In the United States, women have killed my confidence. Like, you talking to them, you approaching them, saying what's up to them, that shit killed it for me. The last girl I approached was about, let me see, I can't remember when, but I think it was like 6 to 7 weeks ago, to what I remember. Like, last time I approached a girl, and I met her at the bus stop in Seattle, and she gave me her number, right? Because I thought we were cool. I thought we were vibing with each other. And it was just bullshit, She didn't respond to me in a positive way because she gave me a number. I thought we were cool. I texted her. We chatted one day. I thought the conversation was kind of boring, but I was trying to pretend like it's interesting kind of thing. Then I just said, "You want to meet up?" She gave me some bullshit ass answer. She gave me a bullshit answer. So that kind of ruined it for me, And before you know it, she stopped responding to me. And I'm looking at this chick like, I'm not really feeling you like that, to be honest. I'm just trying to find a way that we can meet up. You know what I mean? But hey, that's American girls for you. They give you the number, then they ignore you as if you're bothering them. How does that work? So, upon all the years of living in the United States, for the past 2 to 3 years, like, I stopped approaching girls a long time ago. I really did. I approached that girl about 6 to 6 weeks ago. I approached that girl, and the same bullshit happened. So I told myself, there's no point talking to girls here. It's a waste of time. So that same mentality carried on with me when I went to Vancouver. You know, something told me deep down is that don't waste your time with these girls because one, you don't live in Vancouver and you normally don't spend time in Vancouver. So you talking to this girl now is probably going to be a complete waste of time. You know, that's what held me back. But before, it didn't matter if I was there for a day or for a month. If I liked the girl, I go and say what's up to her. You know, it didn't matter because I learned when it comes to a lot of people, if you two are really friends or you two like each other, you will find a way to keep in contact. You know, but in America kills your confidence. They make you feel like I know for the United States, if a girl turns you down, they make you feel like shit for even talking to them. They make you feel like crap. You know what I mean? They do that. So that's why it's kind of painful. No. Sorry, not painful, but it's kind of like stressful a little bit, you know? So the confidence in me just died when I went to Canada. And I'm not, because when it comes to me, like I have many friends who are older than me. Many of them older than me. And I have no issues talking to them. But girls my age or girls today, there's something else, right? So the social interactions, so that's why when you're American and you go abroad, it fucks up your thought process a little bit, right? But it's all cool though. It's all good. But when it comes to yeah, so that's, you know, I don't go back to American chicks. So when that happened, I saw these pretty girls in East Hastings. I was like, oh my gosh, these girls are fine as hell. But something told me not to waste my time because I had no confidence. My confidence just died. So after that, you know, I drove around that area, right? That area of East Hastings. I went to this local pizza restaurant. It was pretty good food. But when I drove around the area, right, it's like Vancouver is business oriented. It's just like Seattle. It has that money. There's so many corporations, like so many businesses over there. You're like, God damn, dude. So you know, it's an area of progress, you know. So that's one good thing about Vancouver because they are economically succeeding. So that's the good thing about it. So I know East Hastings has drugs and it has escorts, but most of the time the escorts don't come out until nighttime. You know what I mean? Because in the daytime it's all business. Everyone's there. The streets are filled with business owners and shit. So everything's probably busy. Everything's busy. So those escorts probably come out in the nighttime. They don't come in the daytime. And so that's just where. So I drove around that area for a little bit. Very nice. And to give you guys a perspective of what I'm talking about, Vancouver literally looks like Seattle. Literally. The high buildings, the expensive buildings, the types of designs and types of structures looks like Seattle. It looks like it. Seattle, Bellevue, that's what Vancouver looks like. So you guys will know what I'm talking about. It's very nice over there, man. Very nice. So later I went to another part of town. Vancouver is just something else. It's a very nice city. It's prosperous. It's doing well. And to some guys out there who want to hear about this, they do have brothels over there. And believe it or not, you see, I went to this one complex one time. I was standing next to a brothel. but it wasn't named a brothel. It wasn't coded as a brothel. It was titled as something else, right? So it's like whatever, you go in, you go out, you know. But it was interesting because in Canada, sex is legal. No, prostitution is legal in Canada. So you have brothels everywhere. Mainly the Asian ones are everywhere, but you have brothels everywhere. And the one I saw at this complex I was at one time, you see people of all ages walking in and walking out. I saw an old guy. I seen an old guy walk out of there. I've seen young guys walk in there. I've seen different types of people walk in and walk out. And it was pretty unique. It's a pretty unique thing because in the US it's legal. No, sorry, in the US it's illegal. You see what I mean? So in the United States, if you do that crap, if you try to pay for sex in the United States, you risk being arrested. Because if you guys watch the news, I read the news sometimes when it comes to these type of things. Some of these escorts or these streetwalkers you see, especially the ones they have some in Seattle here, they have a strip. It's called Aurora Avenue. Look it up. They have these undercover officers who actually stay on these strips. So you approach a female now, the lady can sell you sex and be like, and the moment you say yes, that's it. The police got you and they're going to arrest you. The moment because they ask you a question, hey, do you want to have a good time or do you want to meet up? The moment you say yes, you don't even have to say a price. The moment you say yes, they got you and they can arrest you right there. And they do. They do. I used to walk on that strip, the one in Seattle. I used to talk to those girls sometimes. At least before I did. Many of those girls, some of them are just about their money. They don't want to hang out. They don't want to talk. They want the money. And some of them are actually, if a woman is very attractive and she's walking up and down the strip, let's just say she's not working alone, if you understand what I'm talking about. So in the US, if you do this type of things, you risk being arrested, you risk being robbed and everything. But in Canada, there's no risk and there's no robbery. There really isn't, because if you go into the organization of these women who offer sexual services, you can take your time, you can enjoy yourself. So that's a big difference in Canada. Very big difference. And weed is also legal there too. So weed is legal in the state of Washington, and it's legal in British Columbia. So you have the best of both worlds, you know? So you're doing good for yourself, you know? And, yeah. It's one of those things, man. I think Canada is better. Canada is better when it comes to, like, laws. Canada is kind of better than the United States because they're more loose with their laws, you know? So that's the good thing about Canada. But overall, I'm going to tell you guys this, to be very sincere. Vancouver is just like Seattle. To be very honest, it's the same. It's the same thing. You know, some Canadians have said, some Canadians who live in Vancouver have said, Vancouver is just an antisocial city. Of course, people have money, but the quality of life is not that great. To me, I don't know. I've only been there twice in the past like 10 years, so I don't know much about it. But the Canadians who live there say it's kind of like Seattle indirectly. So that's one of those things you have to like think about if you want to move to Vancouver. But Vancouver is nice. I'm telling you right now, it's very beautiful. And one thing else I want to say about Vancouver is the economic development. Like I saw these buildings. They have very big buildings, nice infrastructure. So you know that city has money. You know? It's a very nice area. Vancouver's a very nice area, but one thing you have to understand about Vancouver is it's expensive as Seattle. You know, the Seattle rent is increasing, just like in Vancouver. Okay? Vancouver's expensive as well. So that's why you have to go for a good paying job, because if not, you're gonna be strapped for cash. So that's one thing you understand about Vancouver. So, I mean, I liked it. Would I ever live there? Probably not. But to visit, most definitely. I will definitely go back to Vancouver. If I stay in Seattle for the next couple of years, I will visit Vancouver at least 3 times a year. That's how much I like that city. I would visit 3 times a year. But to live there, hell no. I don't think so. But it's just one of those things. If you guys are interested in going to Canada, do your research first. I think you guys will like it. Let me know what you think. Peace.